This is another section of my garden that was a flower bed, and I have now made it a vegetable garden due to my not being able to get in the garden and work. And you can see I still have sunflowers, hosta. This is zucchini, tons of zucchini, and squash. Well, zucchini is squash, but yellow squash too. This is a purple basil that's coming up. I bought a pack of burpee seeds, kept it watered, and it looks like 2 of them have sprouted. This is more squash. As you can see, here's a small yellow one coming along. This is lemon thyme. Smells great. Pepper. This is a flower called Rose Campion, a very old flower. That was my mother's. Comes back year after year, reseeds. More squash. This is flowers. It's called blanket flower, and I love these. They're like a tiny sunflower. They have not bloomed yet. And lettuce. More squash, more hosta. And I'm not sure what these are, but it's also an old flower from my mother. I have cucumbers. And I just fertilized these yesterday. And they are small. But they're coming along. Oh, here's one. Here's a big one. I didn't see that one. I love cucumbers. We've got, as you can see, several sunflowers. I planted, these are supposed to be mammoth sunflowers. They were also a burpee seed, and they have done really well. I think those have been planted about 3 weeks. Pepper, bell pepper. And this dill came back from last year where I had some planted. It just reseeded and came up, and I love it. It can grow wherever it wants to grow. An aster came back. This is I'm not sure what that is, but I found that piece of wood and just made a little pot for it. This is my clematis that just flowered. I have okra plants there. I just planted day before yesterday. And going up these steps, this is really nice, are my bean plants. I planted these a week and a half ago. I have, these are the grow bags. Get this. I have, you can see the grow bag, the 7-gallon, 7-gallon, and as you can see, the dirt settles, and it looks quite a bit like it needs to have some more dirt added, which I'll do. And here's another bean, a lot of beans. I just thought I'd put 2 in each one, but evidently not. And so I think I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 of these. And my plan is to let them run their tendrils up this deck rail. And I hope to have at least enough beans to eat a few fresh green beans, which I really miss if I don't have. And they're a little bit difficult. This kind is because they do have to have support they're called dade beans, which is an old bean in this area, and I had to search high and low to get these seeds. So if they do well, I'm going to save some. And over to this side is more of my garden. These plants here are called 4 o'clock. They bloom in the afternoon only. And they have reseeded from past plants. I've cut some of these down, and I'll probably cut a few more down. This is chives right here. Chives. They're delicious. They grow all winter. And this, I believe, is oregano. And it's grown from years past. And it's beautiful and attracts the bees. I love it. And I love having this close to my kitchen. When I'm cooking, I can just run out here and grab a handful of herbs. I use the chives quite often, put with potatoes and different vegetables, and also meat. And here's a tomato plant coming up there that I'll have to move, I guess. And I keep a pot or two of water there for anything that might come by that needs water. And here's a tomato that's just about ripe, and I'm growing it, as you can see, in a large pot. Here's more cucumbers that I'm going to have to separate. I just planted the seeds, and so more water, and a cucumber plant, more squash over here, and move, a huge zucchini, as you might can see. It's got to be picked. More zucchini. This is sage that came back from last year. It seemed to die. All at once it popped back out, and it is growing like crazy and has a wonderful smell. Sage, like you would put in we use it for chicken and dressing. And these are cosmos flowers from my mother. They reseed, and they have came up abundantly. I've had to move some of them. I'll have to move some of these because they get about 3 or 4 feet tall with orange flowers. The flowers start blooming in late summer and early fall. This is asparagus I just planted this year, which you can see it's so tiny. But I'm hoping in a few years we'll have some. This is hosta from my leftover from my flower garden. And more, whatever that is, I'm not sure. And Nandina. This is a lemon mint, a rosemary, a cucumbers, okras. Okra has just been planted 2 days, and we hope to get it. I love okra. And this is Greek oregano there. I don't know how it's going to do. It's taking a slow start. There's the lemon, a close-up, and the rosemary and parsley. And there's a rosebush, another cucumber, more okra, more tomato plants, and another zucchini. I'm gonna have to, what am I gonna do with all these zucchinis? I have to pick it, that's what. I had some today for lunch. Oh, they were delicious. And so that wraps it up with my garden. I will pan over to my cannas that are doing fairly well. The Japanese beetles seem to just hit them But I planted some of the cosmos I dug up. I planted over here where they'd have a better space. But as you can see, the Japanese beetles have ate into my cannas. But they don't stay long, so I let them do their eating, and then they move on, and I don't worry about it. And the cannas recover. Very seldom do I spray anything, and if I do, I have a wonderful spray called Bee Safe, B-E-E, Safe, that's supposed to be safe for the bees. So, that's what I use. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I will let everybody know. And here's one of our friends right there just eating away. There he is. Yeah, and you can see they've done quite a bit of damage. Made holes, but I'm not that particular. There's a few more. They say even the Japanese beetles help to pollinate, so I'm not sure about that, but maybe they do. But they'll be moving on by the end of the month.